Welcome to the Leading Owls podcast, brought to you by Rice University's Doerr Institute for New Leaders. Each week, we bring you inspiring stories and practical tips from successful student leaders, faculty, and staff, along with leadership experts and coaches. Today, we are sitting down with Annie, the president of Duncan College at Rice University. Annie is a junior majoring in health sciences on a pre-dental track. In between her busy schedule as president, she also serves as captain of the Rice Owls dance team. And prior to becoming president, she served as a coordinator for a week. Please welcome Annie. Hey, Annie, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pleasure to be here.
Let's get right down to our questions. What are you most excited about coming into your year as president?
Yeah, I get to be more involved with everything behind the scenes at Duncan. So that's really setting a vision for all the improvements that we want to make and really being able to follow up with each committee, seeing where they got this year and seeing how I can help them really hopefully finish and carry out completely their visions for the next year. And also something I'm really looking forward to is just gathering input from the community, seeing what things did we do well this year, what have they liked that we've done in the past, what do they feel like can be improved on, and what my role is in making their vision come to life.
That sounds so fantastic. I mean, it's just such an exciting year and there's so many things that you can accomplish. So it's got to be exciting to be standing at the cusp of that.
Definitely. The opportunities are endless.
Do you remember what your first leadership role in your entire life was?
It was probably, I was historian of student council in middle school. That's where this journey all started for me.
What did that entail? Scrapbooking or doing something like an online historical record of what you did that year?
I think we started to transition more into they wanted us to take photos of each event and almost keep a blog post of oh, this is our first student council meeting. This is when student council went to the garden and did this. It was really fun. I just got to take a lot of photos and caption them and then put it almost into a digital scrapbook. So it was pretty cool.
What was your first leadership role at Rice? What started it all here?
I think it was almost a full circle moment because I'm pretty sure at Rice, my first leadership role was the historian on the Rice Owls dance team. So pretty similar things in a slightly different avenue. But yeah, so it's pretty cool then. Historian to historian.
That really is full circle. That's amazing.
Yeah.
What skill do you think is most crucial in being a good leader?
Something that I have seen myself apply and something that's been really helpful for my development as a leader has been self-awareness. So every time maybe I make a decision, I do a speaking, or maybe I host a meeting, I lead a meeting, I always think to myself, what went well, what didn't go well? And from there, I can kind of corroborate that with the feedback that I get from everyone else so that it's not just taking other people's input, but I'm really comparing that with what I thought as well. And from there, I can make improvements, adjustments, and slowly from there, just really perfect my leadership style, my leadership capabilities, and everything like that.
That's so important. Self-awareness is a big thing that we work on at the Doerr Institute. It's such a huge part of being a leader, being able to look at yourself and see what you've done well, what you need to improve on, and then growing from there.
Definitely. Yeah, I agree.
What advice would you give to a Rice freshman or a sophomore who wants to get involved in leadership and isn't really sure where to start?
So I actually wasn't super involved in my residential college until much later in the game. I didn't start freshman year. I really started towards the end of my sophomore year. And I would just encourage freshmen, if they want to get involved in leadership, to don't be afraid to pursue the things that you're interested in. You don't have to be involved in 30 billion things. If you can find that 1, 2, or 3 clubs, organizations, student government, things that you're really interested in, you can really hone in, take a lot of time and focus on getting to know what exactly this position entails. Where is there room to grow? If I want to give more, if I want to give back more to my community, what does that look like? And also, don't be afraid to ask for help, be open to learn, because I found that only when you're vulnerable and you ask questions, I'm confused on this, where can I learn more? Or can you please tell me more? That's when you have the most opportunities to grow. That's when the most resources are introduced to you for you to learn.
What do you wish you'd known as a freshman coming in?
You have so many resources around you. It can be overwhelming maybe at first during O week when they just list off. There's this plethora of this office does this center does this. And I think in order to maybe sort them better and to know which one best fits you, like I said before, it's just don't be afraid to ask for help. If I say I don't exactly know what career path I want, well, there's a CCD, and I wouldn't have known that unless I maybe went and looked it up, or I asked questions, or I asked my O week advisors and stuff like that. Everyone might feel like if I'm asking for help, that shows that I'm not maybe competent or stuff like that, but actually being willing to learn and being willing to ask for help is actually a really good quality to have.
Definitely. And I think freshmen a lot of times are too scared to ask for help, but everybody's been new at some point.
Exactly. Yeah.
What do you do to develop yourself as a leader?
One of the things that I have been doing more now is listening to podcasts and listening to other people that are really successful in life and seeing if they have any tips. And they're much further along in their leadership journey, because even though I have had a lot of leadership roles in the past, I think that I'm still growing. And I think that there's still a lot that I don't know. I might be familiar with the leadership roles that I have taken on in the past, but maybe once I graduate, it's like a whole new world out there. So I think it's really good to not only learn from people who have kind of walked your path before you. Also, I've been a big fan of audiobooks recently. So I'm walking to class, instead of listening to music, I'll listen to personal development books, inspirational quotes, and everything like that. They kind of help me if I'm having a particularly tough day to reset my mindset and start the day off with a really positive mindset and like, you can do it. So yeah.
That's great. Who is a leader at Rice who inspires you? It could be a fellow president, it could be a staff member, or somebody who you've served under their leadership.
This one is really hard because I feel very blessed to have had so many great mentors, fellow leaders, and people that I've been able to look up to. One person that really comes to mind was my co-coordinator for O Week last year. One of the things that I really looked up to him about was not only was he able to just speak so eloquently on any topic, he was able to really strike a conversation with anyone, make them laugh, and just like a really welcoming presence. But he was also able to have a lot of fun while we got things done. So I remember at the very beginning when we were first working together, we had 3 coordinators in total. I was kind of on that one side of the spectrum where I was like, this is our checklist of things to do. Let's make sure that we do it effectively and efficiently. And he was on the side of, wait, let's take a break. Let's have fun too. Being able to just work with him for 9 months, I really started to find a better balance of let's get things done, but also let's have a great time while doing it, so that when we look back, it's not just, oh, I worked so hard. It's really that I worked hard. I had a lot of fun. It was a great time. Having fun in the things that you do makes you want to do them even better, do them even more. That's something that I really admired about him.
That's so awesome. Yes, fun and play are some things that we often forget about, but it's what makes everything worth doing. What cartoon character do you think is a great leader?
This one's tough because I don't watch too many cartoons, but one person that randomly came to mind was Miss Frizzle from the Magic School Bus. I watched it a lot when I was elementary school, and I know they had a reboot a few years ago that I haven't quite been able to see yet. But one of the things that I really admired about Miss Frizzle was she was always the one that was encouraging her class to, like, let's go on an adventure. Let's go explore the unknown. Let's take that leap of faith and step out of our comfort zone. But she was also able to always save any of her students that might have accidentally gone somewhere else that they weren't supposed to. So she was kind of always able to save the day and help them, while also really reassuring them and answering any questions that they had. So I feel like she was kind of like their backbone, and that is something that I really like about her.
That's a great answer. I have not had that answer yet, and that is a really, really good one. She is an excellent leader, and she also brings a lot of fun and play to her leadership role. Thank you so much for sitting down with us and sharing what your leadership journey has been like at Rice, before Rice, and all the exciting things that Duncan's going to have going on in the spring. I know you're really busy at the end of the semester, and beer bikes coming up and all sorts of things. Anything else you want to share with us about the coming year?
Well, I'm really excited for this opportunity and really grateful even just for the chance to get to be a representative for Duncan. And I am really grateful for everyone who put their trust in me to lead them. And I'm also super excited to learn along the way, develop my leadership journey too at Rice. And I guess one final piece of advice I will leave everyone with is sometimes people might feel like, oh, I'm never led, or I'm not outgoing, or I don't have certain qualities that I think make a great leader. But really, I think that it's about the mindset. Leadership takes different avenues. There are different kinds of leaders, and not one specific archetype of leader it fits all. So I think that anyone has the capabilities to become a leader. You just really have to be willing to push yourself and to step out of your comfort zone.
That's so beautiful. I think everyone has the capacity to lead in some way. And we all lead in our daily lives without even knowing it, whether you're the oldest sibling or if you're just a leader of a group in a class. You always are getting the chance to lead. And a lot of people don't see themselves as leaders, but anyone can be. Thank you so much for joining us, and we wish you luck on the coming year.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us for the Leading Owls podcast. We will be back next week with more leadership journeys and tips to share. New episodes release each Wednesday. For more information on the Doerr Institute for New Leaders and our free leader development programs for Rice students, please visit doerr.rice.edu.